Hi Yin Yogis, this video is for a prone spinal twist. So often when we do spinal twists, we take our spine into rotation in Yin Yoga. It's through a supine pose, so that's to say lying on our backs. However, there is a way that we can take the spine into rotation through lying on our fronts in a prone position. So I'd like to show you that now. Normally, I would suggest that you start with some kind of propping. It's better to have the propping there and take away than the reverse with this pose. Some people prefer to do it lying all the way directly down onto the floor, and other people prefer some kind of support for their torso and a little bit more height. So you will find what works best for you. I actually am going to use a spare rolled up yoga mat for my prop. For me, that seems to offer about the right height. However, blocks can also be used, so you may want to stack your blocks along the length of your yoga mat. You can also use a bolster, and depending on the size of the bolster will change the effects of the stretch quite considerably. Neither for better nor worse, it's just different. So play about until you find what works for you. So our prone spinal twist, we come with both knees bent, whether your legs are in kind of more of a 90-90 position, which is going to be something more like a kind of deer pose, or your legs stay together. Again, you will find what works for you. So you want to have one hip in line with whatever props you have lined up along your mat. And we start in our upright position, and we take the rotation, we start the rotation here upright before we start moving down. So what I often see people do is kind of move down and rotate here. It's quite nice to try and get this rotation. So we're keeping our spine nice and long and then coming down with that length onto whatever props or not you are using. Now, once you're here, play about with the position of your knees in relation to your torso. Again, this is going to alter how you feel the stretch in the lower part of the body. So whether you want your legs separate or together, knees pulled in, knees pushed away. And we play about with those variants. Decide whether you'd like to take your spine into full rotation by bringing your head to face the opposite direction to your bent knees. And see if you can relax into your shoulders as much as possible. So for some of you that won't be possible. It will feel nicer having your head down onto your props or down onto the floor. You can even make a little cushion out of your hands. Excuse me. And for some of you, you may even want your head just facing in the same direction as the knees, which will offer slightly less rotation through the spine, but there's still going to be some benefits there. And of course, we've got some stimulation going on in the outer hip area there as well. And you may even find that in time, you feel like you need to move the prop to the side and come all the way down to the floor, and that works for you. Or maybe straight away you're there, and that's your place whereby you can surrender, you can yield. However, we're feeling an activation, a stimulation. So we're offering here compression into the organs of digestion. So we're massaging the organs of digestion, which is very good for the earth meridian lines. We're taking our spine into rotation. We have the urinary bladder that we're working with back there. Okay, and then when you want to come out, lightly push into your hands, enough to take yourself back up to seated. And sometimes this can actually feel more intense than a supine spinal twist. So make sure that you take this little rebound before moving on to the other side. So I would personally roll around seated in the back of my mat and take a seated rebound and feel the effects of that first side, and Just let that kind of integrate into my body, let the spine neutralize slightly before we take it into that rotation on the other way. And then you would just rotate round again, lift up through the spine and come round. Maybe your prop's there, maybe it's not. Play about with the legs in relation to you and which direction that head wants to go. And then be sure to just do a little body scan through, checking that you're releasing through any areas that you may be gripping in, any holding areas. Just tell your body it's okay to let go, it's okay to surrender. And then again, we would come out, maybe take a short seated rebound again. And I would advise taking a supine rebound after this, so coming all the way down onto your back and just letting the spine completely unravel and feel the wonderful effects energetically, physically on your body, on your mind. Before moving into your next pose. And you may even want to, after your rebound, take a little bit of a back massage, hugging your knees in, taking little rocks side to side. Tiny little bit of movement amongst the stillness is never a bad thing. So that's our prone spinal twist. Thank you for watching. Namaste.